What's happening, everybody? Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and welcome to Week 9 of my weekly NFL Picks show for the 2012-2013 NFL season. You know the way we always do things, but we're going to do things a little bit differently this week. If you remember on last week's episode, I promised you that I was going to divulge my Pro Bowl picks. Now, as I was going through filling out my ballot, I realized it's going to take way too much time to put on one of these episodes. These episodes are long enough as they are. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to go to this link right here that I'm going to put at the top of the video. I made a separate video for all of my Pro Bowl picks. It's around a 20-minute long video, so go check that video out and check who I would put in the Pro Bowl this year. So we're going to jump right into the picks. I'm going to let you know how my platinum, gold, silver, and bronze picks did in week number 8. We'll start with the platinum. I had the Chicago Bears defeating the Carolina Panthers. They went out and they did that. Chicago 23, Carolina 22. So really just by the skin of their teeth, that was a come-from-behind victory for the Bears. And as I've been saying here the last couple of weeks, I really think the Bears are knocking on the door to being Super Bowl contenders this year. And the ability to come from behind and win close games is definitely one of those traits you want to see in a Super Bowl contender. We look at the gold pick. I had the Green Bay Packers defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you betcha they went out and did that as well. Green Bay 24, Jacksonville 15. Silver pick, I had the Atlanta Falcons defeating the Philadelphia Eagles. And on another vlogger's video, I had just sort of, when I was talking about the game, I was like, you know, Philly is averaging around 17 points, you know, are they going to be able to, is 17 points going to be enough to win this game? Turns out it wasn't. Philadelphia did score 17, but Atlanta put up 30 big points on them. Atlanta 30, Philly 17, so I got that one as well. And the bronze pick, I had the quote-unquote one of the trap games from last week, the Denver Broncos to defeat the New Orleans Saints, and did they ever? Denver went out there. That was a complete team effort. The Broncos won that game 34-14. Platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, all to Justin. 4-0 this week, 24-8 on my lock picks for the season. Overall, last week, I went 11-3. Was an excellent week last week. Right and wrong are going to be right there for you. On the season, I am 66-52. It's looking a whole heck of a lot better now, sitting in the 63rd percentile on Yahoo. Making the move over to the private pick'em. We picked up another member, of course, so we now have 10 instead of 9, and I moved up a spot. I currently sit in 3rd place out of 10 with 555 of 934 possible confidence points for a clip of 59%. In week 8, I raked in 84 of 105 possible confidence points for a clip of exactly 80%, which is another very good week. That's 2 good weeks in a row at least. Shout out to our week 8 winner, Phil. Phil had an identical record to mine of 11-3. But Phil raked in 5 more points than I did, 89 of 105 possible confidence points, a clip of 85%. So an excellent week for Phil. Of course, Tom Mullins remains our leader. Tom is 71-47 on the season, raking in 608 of 934 possible confidence points, a clip of around 65%. So shout-outs and congratulations go to Phil for winning week 8 and to Tom Mullins for continuing to be our overall leader. Now let's take a look at my platinum, gold, silver, and bronze picks for week 9 in the National Football League. We'll start at the bottom with the bronze pick, the Seattle Seahawks playing at home against the Minnesota Vikings. This is another one that you can sort of classify as a trap game. You look at Seattle playing at home. Seattle, as we've established throughout the whole season, is just a whole different beast when they play at home. And you have, on the other hand, Minnesota, who's been having a very good all-around season. I would like to see a little bit more out of Christian Ponder, but at the same time, I have no qualms whatsoever with what I've seen out of Minnesota this year. So this was a hard one to pick for me, whether I go with the team that just plays beastly at home or Minnesota, who's been playing quite well virtually all season. Ultimately, I had to end up sticking with my gut, and I had to go with the Seahawks at home until I see someone convincingly beat Seattle at home, or even beat Seattle at home. I really can't go against them when they're in their own park. Have to go with the Seahawks to beat the Vikings at home for my bronze pick. My silver pick, the Cincinnati Bengals playing at home against those Denver Broncos. Even though we've established that Denver's definitely a team that plays better at home, you look at the complete team effort that they put together to beat the Saints last week. In the process, turning one of the 5 elite passers in the game, Drew Brees, into a guy that can only put up 14 points. Denver looks real good right now. Their defense is clicking. Their offense is clicking along at a Saints pace, which is amazing. Peyton Manning, of course. I mean, who can say enough things about what Peyton Manning has done this year just to come back and play football, much less put up the numbers that he's putting up? I'm on Denver here all day. I don't dislike Cincinnati. I like Andy Dalton, and I obviously really like A.J. Green. As you see on my other video, I put A.J. Green in my Pro Bowl team. But you know what? Denver is just trending real hot right now. I can't see Cincinnati winning this game, even though it's in their house. Got to go with the Broncos on the road to beat the Bengals for my silver pick. My gold pick, the Tennessee Titans playing at home against those Chicago Bears. And I apparently I'm turning into a huge Bears fan, because there are very few teams in the NFL right now that I would put up against Chicago and convincingly say, yeah, Chicago's going to lose that game. There may be 2 teams, maybe. Chicago is just doing what they need to do on both sides of the ball. I'd like to see more from Cutler. I'd like to see him engage other members of his offense rather than Brandon Marshall. But you know what? If it works, keep doing it. You look over on the other side of the ball at Tennessee, just a dismally bad defense, and Chris Johnson, who everybody sort of peed their pants there when Chris Johnson had that one good game, and then he came back last week and I think he still had 99 yards, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't a bad game by any means, but didn't find the end zone. It's going to be a damn tough time trying to run on this Chicago Bears defense, particularly their run defense. I got Bears all the way. Bears are going to be able to put up points here virtually at will, I would say. Bears on the road, beating Tennessee, gold pick. And finally, the platinum pick, the Houston Texans playing at home against the Buffalo Bills. Don't really need to say too much here. The Bills recently signed Sean Merriman, so it looks like they're just going back and signing B-level talent for A-level money. Just every possible option that they could possibly find that fits those categories. No real disrespect to Sean Merriman. I just don't quite think he's the player that he used to be. And Houston is Houston. Best running back in the league in Arian Foster. What this year is being an underrated quarterback in Matt Schaub, even though he might not really have the numbers that you'd be looking for like a top 10 or top 15 quarterback. At the same time, he's definitely getting shit done. But I mean, Arian Foster there is it's the wheel that turns the crank. He really is. And even though I put a couple of Buffalo players on my Pro Bowl team because I think they had the numbers and the performance this year to deserve it, that Buffalo unit as a whole couldn't stop cold butter. Something's got to be done. Something's got to be done in Buffalo to get that defense together, because they have an offense that can put up numbers. Remember, Ryan Fitzpatrick was leading the NFL in touchdown passes through 4 weeks. They need better defense. They need defensive stops. They need more time on the field for their offense. It ain't going to happen this week. Houston rolls, could put up 40 points maybe, but absolutely Houston over the Bills for my platinum pick. This got to be one of the shortest episodes of this pick show that I've done since like the first week. But here are the rest of my picks for the NFL in Week 9. Check them out. Just the Week 9 show for you folks. Comment, hate, and love in the comments section below. Once again, pop you over to this link on the side here. That link goes to my Pro Bowl picks video. Please check that out. Give me some comments, everything like that. Let me know who you've put into the Pro Bowl, or if you have big problems with some of the people that I've picked. Once again, I know there's a lot of competition out there, a lot of people doing pick shows. Thank you guys so much for your patronage and coming back to mine every week. Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and I'll see you later. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers!